Part 276. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2751. Chapter 2751 Never encountered such a thing. Xiao Mian has been sleeping since she got in the car. Naturally, she didn't know that the staff who were filming were under great psychological pressure. Mo Yesi parked the car and saw that she was still sleeping soundly, so he had no intention of waking her up. He opened the car door, got out of the car, and closed it gently. The filming staff who had just gotten off the bus saw that Mo Yesi was the only one getting out of the car. Xiao Mian had not yet gotten off. Even though she was a little afraid of this big shot, she still had the courage to ask, "Mr. Mo, where is Miss Xiao?" Mo Yesi glanced into the car with an indifferent expression. "She is sleeping." Staff member. Sleep. But right now, the program is still being recorded and broadcast live. Judging from what Mo Yesi meant, it was obvious that he wanted Xiao Mian to continue sleeping. But if she continues to sleep like this, if she sleeps for 4 to 5 hours, or 6 or 7 hours before waking up, are they going to have to wait for her to wake up? Then how can we continue with the next shooting? The staff had no choice but to muster up their courage and asked cautiously, "Then Miss Xiao, when will she wake up? Mr. Mo, can you wake her up? If she sleeps, we can't continue filming." "Then wait." Mo Yesi turned his head, his voice cold and distant. "She got up too early this morning and didn't sleep well. Let her sleep a little longer." The staff were all stunned, and after a few seconds, they said tremblingly, "But we are still live broadcasting. If Miss Xiao is sleeping in the car, our live broadcast will have no content." Xiao Mian slept in the car for a few hours. Netizens in the live broadcast room also watched her sleep for several hours. Some netizens have expressed dissatisfaction with this and complained in the live broadcast room. As staff, of course they still have to consider the feelings of netizens. "Then turn it off." Mo Yesi said matter-of-factly. "Wait until she wakes up and then start the live broadcast. You can go and film other people." Several staff members were dumbfounded. After all, they have never encountered such a thing. This live broadcast is all-weather, and it must be broadcast until the moment the artist turns off the lights and goes to sleep. No one has ever mentioned it. Moreover, the number of viewers in Xiao Mian's live broadcast room is so popular now. If they choose to turn off the live broadcast at this time, they will probably be found and questioned soon. But the bosses all told him to let his wife sleep a little longer, and no one dared to wake Xiao Mian up at this time. Just when the staff was wondering what to do, the closed car door opened, and Xiao Mian stepped out of the car with her lips covered and yawning. After she got out of the car, she stretched out her hand to rub her eyes, and then slowly walked to Mo Yesi. "Are you there? Why didn't you wake me up?" "Well, here we are." Her hair was a little messy from her sleep, so Mo Yesi stretched out his hand to rub it and straighten it out for her. Changing from his previous indifference and alienation towards several staff members, he petted Xiao Mian's head lovingly and said in a gentle voice, "I saw that you were sleeping soundly, so I didn't call you because I wanted you to sleep a little longer." "Then how long have I been asleep?" Xiao Mian turned her head and looked at the staff standing next to her, and said with some embarrassment, "You won't wait for me for a long time, right? Mo Yesi, you should wake up earlier." "Mine." Several staff nearby could not help but heave a sigh of relief when they saw Xiao Mian getting out of the car. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2752. Chapter 2752. Xiao Mian is the only one. It was really timely to wake up. Solved their problems promptly. If she had to sleep for a few more hours, they might really have to interrupt the live broadcast. This Mo Yesi dotes on his wife too much. There are many loving couples in the entertainment industry. Some female celebrities who marry into wealthy families often bring their husbands out to show off their affection. People outside the industry who don't know better will think that their relationship between husband and wife is really good. But only those in the circle know that 9 out of 10 couples who frequently show affection are doing it for others to see. The entertainment industry is really chaotic. Because there are so many handsome men and beautiful women, there are many more temptations than ordinary people. In addition, these handsome men and beauties often shoot intimate scenes together, and there will inevitably be a lot of physical contact during the filming. Therefore, it is not uncommon for artists to fall in love due to scenes, and it is very common for couples on the crew to be in love. The so-called crew couple means that two people live together as a couple during filming, and go back to their respective homes after filming. Most of the couples on the set still have families. But to the outside world, they are still good husbands and wives, and they are still a loving family that makes ordinary people envious. As for those female celebrities who married into wealthy families, it is not a private matter for a husband to take care of his third and fourth children outside. But Mo Yesi and Xiao Mian can see their true love. Especially Mo Yesi. This man is an absolute exception among the wealthy children who mainly focus on eating, drinking, and having fun. He is not interested in eating, drinking, and having fun. He is even less interested in women. I heard that before he met Xiao Mian, his lack of sexual desire for women was so severe that people misunderstood that he liked men. So anyone could go out and mess around, but it was absolutely impossible for him. Such a rich and handsome man who keeps a clean mind, focuses on his work, and never goes out to fool around is considered rare among ordinary people. Especially in wealthy circles. What's more, he is so doting on his wife. Although several staff members are men, they are also very envious of Xiao Mian at this time. To say that the best female star married in the entertainment industry is undoubtedly Xiao Mian. Unlike other female celebrities who marry either old men who can be their fathers, or fat-faced pig-headed men who are off-putting to look at, the husband she married not only ranks first in wealth, but also in good looks. Wait a minute. Mo Yesi's appearance, figure, and temperament. Not to mention those playboys in wealthy circles who only know how to eat, drink, have fun and play with women. Even those young talents in the entertainment industry who debuted with good looks cannot compare to her. However, not everyone can have such a blessing. Looking at the entire entertainment industry, there is only one person named Xiao Mian. Ms. Xiao, it's okay. We have just gotten off the bus. The staff member held up the camera and said, now that we have arrived at the accommodation arranged by the program team, Miss Xiao can put her luggage away first and then sign in. Xiao Mian nodded. Mo Yesi turned around and went to the trunk to take out her luggage. Her luggage was not much, but she packed a full box. There were not many clothes in the suitcase, but more food. Afraid that she wouldn't be used to the food here in Sea City, Xiao Mian bought a lot of hot pot ingredients and some fast food. These foods alone accounted for 1/3 of the entire suitcase. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2753. Chapter 2753, this young couple has a really good relationship. While Xiao Mian went to bed, there were fewer people in the live broadcast room. After she woke up, the number of people watching increased again. The live broadcast room was very lively at this time. Wow, Mr. Mo dotes on Xiao Mian too much. Did you see the paragraph just now? In order to let Xiao Mian sleep a little longer, he got off the car and waited outside, and did not allow the staff to wake up Xiao Mian. This is too sweet. Come on, the old aunt's girlish heart is about to become sweet. I feel like Xiao Mian is Mr. Mo's little princess. Mr. Mo really loves her. Today is another day of sour lemons. Am I the only one who thinks what Mo Yesi did is selfish? Xiao Mian is at work. Just because she wants her to sleep a few more hours, she has to keep the staff waiting? Why should the staff wait? You have to sacrifice your working time to show off your love as a couple. If everyone is like Xiao Mian, will this show be recorded? Girls, please pay attention, there is another black guy here. Let's ignore her, just treat her as air and let her wander around alone. Asterisk. The place arranged for them by the program team is in a high-end community. After entering the community, Mo Yesi took a look at the environmental facilities of the community and was barely satisfied. In his opinion, although this community is not very good, it is not too bad either. At least it seems relatively safe. It's not like the remote mountain village Xiao Mian went to last time. If the program team arranges to go to a place like that again, Mo Yesi will definitely not allow Xiao Mian to go. Even if Xiao Mian would have a problem with him because of this, he would never put her in that danger again. When they arrived at the community, other staff came out to pick them up. The program team directly rented a floor and assigned a room number for the guests to live in. The staff took them to their place of residence. Xiao Mian found that she was the first to arrive. This variety show, like her previous recording of The Meaning of Travel, both have a host. The host's name is Li Wei, and he is usually called Brother Li. Li Wei is the kind of person who is very knowledgeable and well-rounded, and he is also a well-known variety show host on Tomato TV. In the circle, he is a big brother-level figure. Having been in the industry for many years, I am well informed and have experienced all kinds of storms. A person who is very stable in the face of anything. But even such a big brother couldn't calm down after meeting Mo Yesi. Like other staff members, he also showed nervousness. Did Mr. Mo send Miss Jiao here? Why didn't you tell us in advance? It's not easy for us to entertain Mr. Mo now. Li Wei looked at the handsome man with an extremely powerful aura in front of him, and his behavior was not as good as before. Calm, with obvious tension showing on his face. He didn't know that Mo Yesi would send Xiao Mian here. So I was quite surprised to see Mo Yesi following Xiao Mian. Of course, he has heard about how Mr. Mo dotes on his wife. However, I didn't expect that Mr. Mo would be so worried about his wife that he would need to be escorted here in person. This young couple has a really good relationship. But to be honest, Mr. Mo is really a dragon among people, with top-notch appearance and temperament. This noble aura throughout his body is not something ordinary people can compare with. With this kind of appearance, if she debuts, she will definitely become famous and instantly kill other young talents. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2754. Chapter 2754. She really doesn't understand. There is no need to entertain me, you just need to take good care of my wife. Mo Yesi took Xiao Mian's hand and said solemnly to Brother Li, I have no other requirements, but you must ensure her safety. I handed her over to you unharmed, and when she comes back, I hope she will be unharmed as well. This is natural, Brother Li immediately said with a smile, Mr. Mo, please rest assured that it is the responsibility and obligation of our program team to ensure the safety of the guests. We will definitely take good care of Miss Jiao. That's good. Mo Yesi nodded and said calmly, I also believe you can take good care of her. Definitely, Brother Li said with a smile again, this floor has been rented by us. Miss Jiao was the first to arrive, and she can choose the room first. Now I will take Miss Jiao to check it out. The layout of each room depends on which one she likes. Asterisk. There are 4 rooms on one floor. The program team posted numbers outside each room. They are room 1, room 2, room 3, and room 4 respectively. Li Wei took Jiao Mian to look at each room. The sizes and layouts of the rooms were actually similar, and the decorations were also in a unified style. However, one room was slightly larger and had 2 bathrooms. Jiao Mian finally chose the room with 2 bathrooms. That is room number 3. After choosing a room, Mo Yesi carried her luggage to room 3, and then helped her take out her luggage one by one and hang them in the closet. Everything was done by Mo Yesi alone. Jiao Mian was like a hands-off shopkeeper, sitting aside and doing nothing. Because the live broadcast room is always open, after entering the room, the staff fixed their mobile phones in a place with the best view. There are also cameras set up in other places in the room. In the live broadcast room. After seeing how Mo Yesi helped Jiao Mian pack her luggage, many netizens lamented that Jiao Mian had a good life and married a wonderful man. Originally, it is not unusual for a husband to help his wife pack her luggage. Mo Yesi is not an ordinary man. He is the second young master of the Mo family, the largest family in Yunqing, and the current president of the Mo family. It is not unusual for him to be able to take such meticulous care of his wife with such a noble status. Moreover, Jiao Mian looked like she was used to it. This shows that Mo Yesi always dotes on her in this way. Such a noble and handsome man is willing to put down his body and pamper his wife like this. Only true love can allow him to do this. Soon, there was a hot topic #marry a person to marry Moyisi #. Jiao Angzhen watched the noble and handsome man in the live broadcast room willingly help Jiao Mian pack his luggage like a house husband. He even helped Jiao Mian put on the sheets and bedspread on the bed. He packed his luggage and changed the sheets and bed covers so skillfully. Skilled enough to know at a glance that he has done this kind of thing many times. The comments section was full of envious and hateful voices, all envious of Jiao Mian's good fortune and that she married a wonderful husband. Jiao Angzhen was also very envious and jealous. She was so envious that she wanted to rush into the screen and take Jiao Mian's place. She really doesn't understand. Why does Mo Yesi treat Jiao Mian so well? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2755. Chapter 2755. Why does this woman look so much like Jiao Mian? Haven't he still gotten tired of Jiao Mian after all this time? With his status, why should he serve Jiao Mian in such a condescending manner? How virtuous and capable is Jiao Mian? It just has a foxy face, but no matter how good looking this face is, after looking at it for so long, it's time to get tired of it. Jiao Angzhen always thought that the marriage between Mo Yesi and Jiao Mian would not last long. Mo Yesi was also new to Jiao Mian. So she has been waiting for news about the marriage change between the two, and for Mo Yesi and Jiao Mian to divorce. But she has waited for so long, has it been in vain? Not only did Jiao Mian and Mo Yesi not get divorced as she wished, but their relationship actually got better and better. How Mo Yesi dotes on Jiao Mian, Jiao Angzhen feels how dazzling these scenes are. She thinks of her own current situation, the life she lived abroad that year, and then looks at Jiao Mian's current life. A life of ease and beauty made her feel nervous about gambling. There is anger in my heart and I want to find someone to vent it out to. She hates Jiao Mian. She hates this bitch. The reason why she is living such a miserable life now is all because of that bitch. It was Jiao Mian who ruined everything for her. So, she will never let her go. She also wants Jiao Mian to lose everything he has now. At this moment, a knock on the door suddenly rang. Jiao Angzhen took a deep breath, put away her phone, adjusted the expression on her face, and walked to the door. She opened the door, and there were several people with cameras and mobile phones standing outside. After Jiao Angzhen spoke, the leader introduced himself. "Hello, Miss Zhang, we are the program team of my intern parents' staff of Hello, I'm Zhang Xinyu. Thank you for coming here so early. Please come in and have a seat first. Jiao Angzhen raised her head and looked at several staff members, with a perfect sweet smile on her lips, and her voice was also its sweet and charming. The moment Jiao Angzhen raised her head, several staff members were stunned when they saw her appearance clearly. Everyone had a look of astonishment on their faces. This Zhang Xinyu looks too much like Jiao Mian. Although you can still see the difference if you look carefully, if you don't look carefully, you will definitely think of her as Jiao Mian at a glance. Of course, her appearance is definitely not as refined as Jiao Mian's. Although the eyebrows and eyes are 60–70% similar, Jiao Mian's beauty is not something that can only be achieved by looking alike. Although the young newcomer named Zhang Xinyu in front of me looks similar to Jiao Mian, they are at best a low-end version, not even a high-end imitation. But if you don't compare it with Jiao Mian, she is still very beautiful. Because the live broadcast started before the staff came over, when Jiao Angzhen's face appeared in the live broadcast room, all the netizens in the live broadcast room were collectively stunned. Jiao Angzhen is now debuting under the name Zhang Xinyu. Without any works, she can be regarded as a newcomer who is extremely new. Of course, there are no fans. But at this time, there were also 10,000 or 20,000 people in her live broadcast room. Damn it, am I right, this woman looks so much like Jiao Mian. What is the background of Zhang Xinyu? I just heard that Zizi was replaced. It must have been because of her. Although I am not a fan of Zizi, this kind of temporary substitution is too disgusting. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2756. Chapter 2756 must be planning something. Here I go. I took a quick look and thought Jiao Mian had opened another live broadcast room. What are the program team doing? Why did they get a new person who looks so similar to Jiao Mian to participate in this program? And okay, yes, why should we replace Zizi? I really like Zizi. Just now Zizi posted on Weibo, saying that the program team unilaterally broke the contract and requested a temporary termination. In order to praise such a young newcomer, the program team even gave up basic integrity. What is the background of this woman? The program team is not afraid of the negative impact of this. I just went to check and found out that this Zhang Xinyu is a new recruit who has just been signed by Gong's entertainment company. Judging from this attitude, she is ready to praise her. Is this an artist under the Gong family or an artist who looks very similar to Jiao Mian? I suddenly remembered the scandals that had spread between the crown prince of the Gong family and Jiao Mian. Could it be that the crown prince of the Gong family caused this woman? What kind of substitute? I can't get the original owner's favor, so I'm looking for a substitute. Less than 10 minutes. Jiao Angzhen became a hot search with this first appearance. Hot search title, hashtag newcomer Zhang Xinyu looks like Jiao Mian hashtag. Hashtag. Asterisk. After Mo Yesi sent Jiao Mian to City C, he didn't stay too long. After he packed everything up, he returned to Yunchinj. The camera was placed indoors, so there was no need for staff to follow Jiao Mian. So as soon as Mo Yesi left, Jiao Mian was the only one left in the room. Jiao Mian asked Zanbo on WeChat, and Zanbo replied that she would arrive in half an hour. She waited in the room to sign in together after Zanbo arrived. The mobile phone left on the bed rang. Jiao Mian walked over and took a look. Seeing that it was Linda calling, she picked up the call and called out softly, "Sister Siet." "Holy shit, Mian, have you seen the hot search?" Linda on the other end of the phone seemed to have encountered something, and her tone was unusual. Jiao Mian asked, "Not yet, I just got the phone after finishing my work. Did something happen? Although I don't know what the hot search is yet." But Jiao Mian concluded that it must be related to herself. After all, Linda wouldn't have called her if it had nothing to do with her. "I don't know what the show crew was doing, but they suddenly replaced Zizzy. And do you know, the new person they replaced turned out to be a new person who looks very similar to you." Now netizens are discussing this matter. Jiao Mian was startled. Linda continued, "Over there, and this newcomer is actually from the entertainment company owned by the Gong family. Do you know who is mainly in charge of the entertainment company under the Gong family now? It's that Suzy. Tell me, that Suzy wants a newcomer who looks very much like you to participate in the same show as you. What on earth does he have in mind? I don't think he has good intentions, and he must be planning something. MSU asked Mr. Mo to buy him out. He went from a prosperous young master to a down-and-out waste. He must be holding a grudge in his heart. Otherwise, he wouldn't have run away after the relationship between Mr. Mo and Gong Zili broke off. Gong Zili's company works." Jiao Mian listened for a while and frowned. "Zhi was replaced? When was she replaced?" "Just now," Linda said angrily. "Now Zhi's fans are asking for an explanation on the official blog of the program team because of this incident. A newcomer who has just debuted let her appear on such a good variety show. Does Suzy want to focus all his resources to support Zhang Xinyu like he used to support Jiao Angzhen?" End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2757. Chapter 2757, Is it based on your plastic surgery? He must know that you also participated in this program, and he also brought in the newbie. I think he may have deliberately created a topic to gain your popularity. In this way, everyone now knows that there is Xiao Jiao Mian. Huh, he is so good at calculating. He easily made that little newcomer earn enough popularity. Bitch, it's really too cheap. Isn't he trying to confuse people? Jiao Mian hasn't said anything yet. Linda seems to be extremely angry. Listening to Linda talking about Suzy through gritted teeth, Jiao Mian could imagine that her expression must also be gritting her teeth at this moment. Linda and Suzy had an old grudge. Every time she mentioned Suzy, she would itch with hatred. Jiao Mian just got the phone, and she didn't know that the program team would temporarily replace Suzy and replace it with a new one who looked very similar to her. This newcomer is actually from Gong's entertainment company. When something like this happened, not only Linda would think too much about it, but even Jiao Mian couldn't help but have some thoughts. She didn't believe it if everything was unintentional. It would have been better if it had been someone else. But the newcomer was signed by Gong's entertainment company, and Gong's entertainment company is now managed by Suzy. It is impossible to say that Suzy was completely unaware of this matter. If he knew about it and still sent the person over, Jiao Mian also felt that this approach was offensive to her. Anyway, you must be careful. Don't meet the second Jiao Angzhen again, Linda warned worriedly. Well, I'll pay attention. After a while, Jiao Mian hung up the phone. She opened Weibo and soon saw the hot search for Xiao Jiao Mian. The hot search for Xiao Jiao Mian was very popular. When Jiao Mian saw the hot search, the number of discussions was close to hundreds of millions. This data is quite impressive for a newcomer who is not well known at all. Just like Linda said, because of the title of Xiao Jiao Mian, the popularity of hot searches will rise very high. Regardless of whether the other party is really deliberately trying to gain popularity, this wave of popularity is real. Rubbed. Even though Jiao Mian already knew that there was a newcomer named Zhang Xinyu who looked very similar to her, she was still a little shocked when she clicked on Zhang Xinyu's photo. Because this newcomer named Zhang Xinyu does look a lot like her. No wonder she is called Xiao Jiao Mian. Xiao Mian looked at Zhang Xinyu's photo for a while, and felt a strange feeling in her heart as she looked at it. She didn't know why, but she felt that when she looked at Zhang Xinyu, she felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity. But she couldn't tell where this familiar feeling came from. But what she was sure of was that her familiarity with Zhang Xinyu was definitely not because he looked like her. WeChat dinged. It was a message from Linda. Linda, have you seen Zhang Xinyu's photo? Does it look like her? Xiao Mian answered truthfully, well, it looks like me. Linda, I just went to see her again. Why do I feel like this woman had plastic surgery after you? Xiao Mian. Linda, there are many people who look alike in this world, so it's not surprising that some people look like me. However, haven't you noticed that even the mole under the corner of your eye is the same? Isn't this a bit of a coincidence? Zhang Xinyu also has a mole at the corner of her eye. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2758. Chapter 2758. I think there is something wrong with this woman. Sure enough, I saw a mole in the corner of Zhang Xinyu's eye. Slightly larger than her mole. And what's even more coincidental is that the location of Zhang Xinyu's mole is exactly the same as hers. Even Xiao Mian felt that this was too coincidental. Linda, did you see that? Xiao Mian looked away from Zhang Xinyu's photo and replied to Linda, yes, I saw it. Linda, Mian, I think there is something wrong with this woman. She definitely followed your example. Now I come to the same show with you under the title of Xiao Mian, either to gain popularity or for other reasons. Anyway, you have to be careful. Xiao Mian, I understand. After finishing chatting with Linda, Xiao Mian clicked on Weibo again and looked at it. The number of hot search discussions about Xiao Mian has exceeded 100 million. Netizens also have mixed praise and criticism for this newcomer named Zhang Xinyu. But generally speaking, there are more people who scold than those who don't. Because Zhang Xinyu was known as Little Xiao Mian as soon as she debuted, and she also had a face similar to hers in the same show. No matter how you look at it, she is riding on her popularity, and it is very obvious. Xiao Mian doesn't mind being teased by others. She is also a newcomer and knows that it is difficult for newcomers to get along. But this newcomer, really just wants to take advantage of her popularity? I'm afraid things are not that simple. At this time, netizens in Xiao Mian's live broadcast room were also talking about Zhang Xinyu. Mianbao, did you know that there is a shameless woman who uses the title of Xiao Mian to try to get your attention? What's Xiao Mian? I just went to the live broadcast room to watch it. She looks a little bit like Mianbao, but she's nowhere near as beautiful as Mianbao. And that girl is so nice. Damn it, she talks so loudly that I feel like vomiting, and she looks like a bitch. Yes, I also went to the live broadcast room to watch it, and I really vomited in real name. Are the program crew crazy? Even if Zizi is replaced temporarily, they have to replace her with someone who is almost as well known as Zizi. What the is that Zhang Xinyu? Beidou can't even find her information. And the program crew is looking for someone who looks good. Do people like Mianbao want to hate Mianbao? One thing to say, when I came out of the live broadcast room just now, I think Zhang Xinyu is quite beautiful, of course, compared with Xiao Mian, she is at best a low-profile version. It feels like this Zhang Xinyu just wants to become famous by riding on Xiao Mian's popularity, and she has succeeded. She is an unknown newcomer, and now she is already in the top 5 of the hot search list. Although this way of becoming famous is a bit shameless, but the effect is indeed quite good. I guess her company planned it this way. Why is Xiao Mian so popular now? Asterisk. In a slightly empty luxurious office. On the screen of the laptop that is usually open for work, What is displayed at this time is not the office page, but a live broadcast page that is being broadcast live. In the live broadcast, the girl had a bun and walked out of the bathroom with a freshly washed face. She slowly walked to the phone screen. He bent down and looked at the screen of his mobile phone. Then a sweet smile appeared on his lips, and he said in a sweet voice, "I just went to wash my face and I feel much refreshed." "What are you talking about? It seems to be very lively. Look." End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2759. Chapter 2759, Go Check a Person. After a few seconds, after seeing what the netizens were talking about, Chiao Mianmian's expression did not change, and she still said with a smile, "So this is what everyone is talking about. I know, if you ask me anything, my opinion, I don't have any opinion. I think this is a normal thing. There are many people who look alike in this world." In the live broadcast room, we are talking about Xiao Chiao Mian. When netizens saw Chiao Mian coming over, they all asked her if she knew about the incident and what she thought of Zhang Xinyu. Of course it was impossible for Chiao Mian to tell her true thoughts. Because she hasn't met Zhang Xinyu in person yet. So she is not sure now, what kind of person is Zhang Xinyu, and whether there is any purpose for appearing on the show this time. What's more, even if she cares in her heart, it is also impossible to speak on this kind of public platform. Unless she's out of her mind. Mian Bao, you are too big-hearted. That woman is clearly trying to get in your favor, and you don't mind, but we fans are angry when we see her, and we just don't like her. That's right. She has the ability to become famous through her own efforts. Wouldn't it be nice to use this method to gain popularity and become famous? It's shameless. I hate that Zhang Xinyu, I hate that. Little Chiao Mian, I don't think she can compare to Mian Bao's toes. Even if she becomes famous in this way, it is disgraceful. Besides being scolded, what else can she get? The handsome man in luxurious clothes looked at the comments from netizens in the live broadcast room, frowned, and made a phone call to go out. Soon, there was a knock on the door outside the office. "Come in," the man in the room said solemnly. The door opened, and a man in a grey suit walked in. He raised his head and looked at the handsome and somewhat evil man sitting on the black leather chair, and shouted respectfully, "Mr. Palace. Go check on someone right away." Miyazawa Lifeng, who was sitting on the black leather chair, half squinted his eyes, and there was a hint of coldness in his deep voice. Hearing this, the man who had just come in couldn't help but feel his heart tremble, and a few beads of cold sweat broke out on his forehead. From this tone, Mr. Gong seemed to be in a bad mood. As long as Mr. Gong is in a bad mood, the entire Gong family will be afraid. Of course, including him. Even though he has been Gong Zili's assistant for many years, he is always afraid of his moody and eccentric boss. "The person Mr. Gong wants to check is?" the assistant asked cautiously. "A woman named Zhang Xinyu, from the entertainment industry." Thinking of the comments he just read in the live broadcast room, he frowned again and said in a deep voice, "I want to know detailed information about her within 10 minutes. Get out. You can check it out now." Asterisk. In less than 10 minutes, the assistant had found out Zhang Xinyu's information. He reported everything to Gong Zili. After hearing this, Gong Zili frowned. "Is it a newly signed artist from Gong's entertainment company?" "Yes. And I heard that this newcomer was signed by Manager Su himself, and Manager Su plans to focus on training her." "The person Su Ziyi signed?" Gong Zili narrowed his eyes. "Go and ask Su Ziyi to come up." "Yes, Mr. Gong." Asterisk. Su Ziyi was a little surprised when he knew that Gong Zili was looking for him. He is not in Gongshi every day. Gong's entertainment company is located in another place, where Suzy is in charge, and he will come here every month to report the current month's revenue. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2760. Chapter 2760. I always feel like there's nothing good going on. When he came to Gong's side, Gong Zili would never see him. That entertainment company is not very important to Gong. So there is no need to report to the company president personally. Miyazawa wanted to see him for the first time, so Suzy was naturally surprised. But more importantly, it is a feeling of anxiety and uneasiness. He couldn't help but follow the employee who came to inform him and asked, "Assistant Chen, do you know what Mr. Gong asked me to do?" Mr. Gong didn't say anything. Manager Su will see Mr. Gong soon, and we'll find out soon. Suzy saw that he couldn't get anything out of the question, so he remained silent and said nothing more. But in my heart, I became more and more uneasy. Although he still didn't know why Gong Zili was looking for him, Suzy was very nervous. I always feel like nothing good happens. In fact, this feeling of uneasiness has been with him since he entered the Gong family and worked in the hands of Gong Zili. Before the Su family fell into disgrace, he had had several contacts with Gong Zili. At that time, I felt that Gong Zili was a very difficult person to offend. In the past, it was impossible for the Su family to gain connections with the Gong family. Later, when the Su family fell into decline, Gong Zili took the initiative to send him an invitation letter to manage the entertainment company owned by the Gong family. Suzy would never think that Gong Zili invited him because he appreciated his talent. But if not to appreciate his talent, what is it? Suzy didn't dare to think too much. For him, he is very satisfied with everything he has now, and he does not want to go back to the days when he had nothing. Taking the elevator to the CEO floor, Suzy walked outside Gong Zili's office. After taking a deep breath, he stood at the door for a while and made mental preparations before reaching out and knocking lightly on the door. He said respectfully outside the door, "Mr. Palace, I am Suzy." A cold voice came from inside, "Come in." There was a door across the way, and Suzy shuddered. He pushed open the office door under great pressure. Walking into the office, Suzy raised his eyes and glanced at the man sitting lazily on the black leather chair. At this glance, he couldn't help but shudder. Gong Zili had an expressionless face and cold eyes. When he just raised his eyes, he also raised his narrow, cold eyes and looked at him. The moment his eyes met, Suzy felt as if he was being targeted by something terrible, and had a creepy feeling. "Mr. Gong, do you have anything to do with me?" Suzy quickly lowered his head, not daring to look at Gong Zili again. Gong Zili did not speak. In the silence, Suzy became more and more uneasy. It felt like every minute of silence was a kind of torture for him. He waited patiently for a while, and just when he was about to lose the ability to speak again, the man who frightened him finally spoke up, "Did you just sign a new person named Zhang Xinyu?" Suzy was stunned and raised his head. He did not expect that Gong Zili would actually ask him about this matter. Signing new players is a very small thing. Gong Zili had never asked about these matters in the past. But why now? Is it because? Thinking of that possibility, Suzy couldn't help but think of the scandals between Xiao Mian and Gong Zili. He suddenly felt a little unhappy in his heart, but he didn't dare to show it. He still said respectfully, "Yes. Mr. Palace, is there any problem with this?" On the black leather chair, the man's slender eyes were half squinted, with a hint of coldness in his eyes. End of this chapter.